am one of Sue Trout's former students, and today on Cooking with Sue, but not actually because I'm not Sue Trout, I'm Katie, by the way, we are making matzo ball soup from the box because it's easier and faster. So first step in honestly all your cooking endeavors should be to pick what show you're gonna watch as you cook. So we're gonna do that first. I'm going with Marvelous Mrs. Maisel because I feel like it's on brand. If you haven't watched it, 10 out of 10 recommend. Disclaimer first. So when if you're gonna make boxed matzo ball soup, get the box that has both the soup mix and the matzo ball mix in the box, because they also sell it separately where you can get just the soup mix or just the matzo ball mix, and it's kind of a ripoff. So step 2, after you check all of that and get your TV show, you open the box. Box is open. Okay, so in said box, there should be your soup mix, which will say on there, soup mix part 2, and then your matzo ball mix, which will be a little bit whiter. It probably won't say anything on it, but it's like a different color, so you should be able to figure that out. Okay, so you wanna make sure that you have a large enough pot to fit all of your matzo balls, and remember that they expand, because that can get bad if you don't have a pot big enough for that. So, first thing you're gonna do is get a large bowl. Okay, so we have our bowl, and then we're gonna go crack, if you're doing one box, it would be 2 eggs, but we're doubling this because I have to eat this for basically 10 days. Because Passover is 10 days, if you didn't know that. So we're gonna do 4 eggs. Okay, so we have 4 eggs in the bowl. One of the few things I actually learned about cooking in my household, you put things away as you go, because otherwise you end up with a very large mess that you don't want to clean up because you're tired from all the cooking. All right, so vegetable oil. Normally you'd put 2 tablespoons of this in. We're putting in 4 because we're doubling it. Yes, this is not totally exact, but that's the other thing you'll find in Jewish recipes. Like when I asked my grandmother for a recipe, there's no measurements. It's like, do this until it looks good. Do this until it feels right. So yeah, there's a lot of trial and error in Jewish cooking a lot of the time. So I'm gonna grab a fork, mix the oil and eggs together. So then you're gonna grab your matzo ball mix. And again, make sure that this is the stuff that looks whiter. The yellow stuff is the soup mix. Mix number 1. Mix number 2. Mix it. Sometimes Gentiles who haven't made this before, like one of my friends got freaked out because she thought she like totally messed it up and it like went bad or something, because it doesn't look like when you're making a cake or brownies or anything like that. This, all lumpy and kind of achy looking, that's what it's supposed to look like when you're mixing it. So don't freak out. If it looks lumpy, that's how it should look. So this looks all mixed to me because I can't see any like residue powder or anything in there. So this is what it looks like. It's kind of like a blizzard where it pretty much won't fall out. So then you're gonna put that in the fridge. I usually leave it in the fridge for like 10 to 15 minutes-ish because it needs to harden a little bit. And then while it is in the fridge, you grab your soup mix, which is the yellow one. Then you get your pot. I would say probably fill it 3/4 of the way. Now it's on the stove. I usually put it on high heat to begin with. Right away, you want to take your soup mix. So I have 2 packets because I'm doubling the recipe. But your box will only have 1 each. You want to put the soup mix, just dump it on in there. And the thing about the soup mix, which is why I don't like it quite as much, it does get a little clumpy when you put it in there. So like if it looks like this, don't freak out. You just have to mix it in a little bit more. Literally just like spin it, mix it in like so. And eventually all those little clumps will go away. Ooh, I didn't put on a timer. So I would probably put on a timer. We have a little bit to go, but we'll come back in a minute. When you come back to your soup after a little while, it's probably going to be like kind of yellow on top, so just kind of mix it in again, because stuff rises to the top. Okay, also, so if a pot starts boiling too much, which it's not there yet, but take a wooden spoon and you put it over the top of the pot and it doesn't boil over, and I don't understand why. I have literally researched it and I can't figure it out, but it does not boil over. After about 10-15 minutes, you're gonna take your chilled mix out of the fridge. Also, if you just braided your hair, you're gonna wash your hands because that's a little bit gross to touch food after that. So please hold. You have your chilled mix now that you just took out of the fridge, and it should look like this. Like when you move it, it should be like hard. You should be able to hear it. And you're gonna just kind of mix it once more because the top might be a little shiny. And then this is the fun part. So this is like playing with Play-Doh. Grab yourself a plate. I'm not kidding, this is literally every Jewish child's favorite part. So you wanna make little balls that are about an inch thick, wide? Inch in diameter. When you roll your matzo balls, do not do it too much like you would if you want a really compact ball when you're playing with Play-Doh. I assume we've all played with Play-Doh, I hope. If you haven't, you need to go do that. And you want them to be light and fluffy. So you just kind of like shape them, but don't roll them too hard. I also, because sometimes they can stick to your hands, I will sometimes get, I'm gonna come over here, a bowl of like room temperature water, just to like dip your hands in so it doesn't get too sticky. So I have a little bowl of room temperature water because sometimes your hands get sticky and then it's hard to make them. Each package should make like 10 usually. So when you make 2, it'll make about 20. See, these are getting perpetually larger. This is gonna be huge. I'm running out of room on this plate. Okay, all done. And now I would wash your hands because ew. Okay, so while we're waiting for this water to boil, I just want to say that I watched Trout's first video of the chicken casserole. I laughed, I cried, I awned. That is what my mother says every speech should inspire in people. A laugh, a cry, and an aw. So she's obviously incredible. Also, whoever you are who's taking Carice John's critical reading and writing online right now, you can do it. You got this. Carice is an angel. But I'm also praying for you. Yay, it's boiling! This is why I love the wooden spoon too, because I kind of feel like a witch over a cauldron and it just makes me feel powerful. Is that weird? So now you're gonna keep the water boiling as you drop your matzo balls into the pot. Okay, so I probably wouldn't put more than 10 in a pot at once. So after you put in your matzo balls to the boiling water, you're gonna immediately see them start to get bigger, which is fabulous. On the box, it's gonna tell you to reduce the heat to a simmer. I don't do that because that takes 80,000 years for them to actually get cooked. But I do reduce it to probably halfway. So, and then you're gonna find a lid. Hey, we found it. Okay, you wanna cover this like right away. And you wanna just periodically check on it. So I put in 10 for because I made the double recipe, put in 10 for the first round, and then I'll put in 10 more. Let them cook for at least 15-20 minutes, depending on what heat you have. That might change a little bit. For me, I usually wait about 15 minutes on medium heat. Just a note here that while you're waiting, you can do some homework. I'm not going to, but it's an option, just FYI. So here's what you're gonna do to test it. You're gonna put down your little top there. You're gonna get a spoon, regular spoon, whatever, unless you are like me in college and had IKEA spoons, then that might not work. And by IKEA spoons, I mean children's spoons. So you're gonna take your spoon and just like, whoop, go like this and see I don't know if you can see this, but my spoon is going into it pretty well. You can see I'm cutting it in half. And then I look. This is very extra. I normally would not like do it this much, but you can see in the light here. Do you see that little dark spot? That means it's not quite cooked all the way. So I'm gonna put that back in. It should all be the same color. So I'm gonna put the lid back on and leave it for another 5 minutes or so because it looked like it was almost cooked through. I'm gonna go ahead and test again. Don't test the same one that you already tested because now that one's gonna be already more cooked through than the others. So that looks pretty nice. It's all one color. It feels soft and fluffy. So that batch is probably done. So this is what it looks like. All done. So you can kind of see the size that I made. Okay, so that is how you make matzo ball soup. Well done for watching this. It's what Jews eat during Passover or when we're sick, or it's just like a comfort food. I hope you guys try and make it. It's delicious. I'm gonna go ahead and put the second batch in there, but now you all know how to make it. I'm sitting on the floor now because I'm tired. I've been cooking for a very long time. But I just want to say you're almost done with the semester. You can do it. Take deep breaths, one thing at a time, shoulder to the wheel. You've never not survived. All of those great Troudisms, I'm sure you all know. You can do this, and it's gonna be okay. And Trout, that includes you. Just breathe. We all got this. Take care of each other, check in on each other. It's all gonna be fine. All right, guys. Good luck. Love.